and welcome to CFJ News with me, Rebecca Lawrence. Tonight's top stories are: Mark Reckless has been re-elected as MP for Rochester and Strood after defecting to UKIP. After the counts, the party celebrated the win at Tap and Tin, a local nightclub. Labour MP Emily Thornberry has resigned this morning after posting an offensive image of a Rochester home. Ed Miliband is said to be furious with the former Shadow Attorney General. Former News of the World editor Andy Coulson was released from prison today after 5 months. He was serving an 18-month sentence for phone hacking. Coulson will now have to wear an electronic tag until he reaches the halfway point of his sentence. And MPs say schools are falling behind in teaching their pupils about the dangers of cyberbullying. Warnings are being sent to teenagers that anyone can be punished for making hurtful comments online. A YouGov poll suggests teenagers themselves are not concerned. Mark Reckless claimed victory last night in the Rochester and Strood by-election with almost 3,000 more votes than his former party, the Conservatives. Our political reporter Victoria Polly was there and she's live in Rochester now.
Thanks, Rebecca. Well, UKIP gained their second seat in Parliament early this morning. Mark Reckless won back the seat he gave up to defect to UKIP. This is how the last 24 hours have unfolded.
The circus has moved on, but the clowns have stayed behind. Rochester High Street looks no different today, but after weeks of campaigning, Mark Reckless reclaimed his seat in the Commons as a UKIP MP early this morning. Same man, different party, but the result reflects the one that was forecast by many.
Kelly Tolhurst, the Conservative Party candidate, 13,947. Mark John Reckless, UK Independence Party, UK, 16,867.
Reckless thanked those who had supported him, in particular UKIP leader Nigel Farage.
Rochester and Strood was our 271st most winnable seat. We can win here, we can win across the country. If you vote UKIP, you get UKIP.
While Mark Reckless and the rest of the UKIP party are busy celebrating victory down the road, the Conservative shop here has already been stripped of any signs of a campaign after Kelly Tolhurst's defeat in last night's by-election. So what's next for the Conservative Party?
But what I'll do is I'm going to fight every day until May 2015 to return a Conservative MP in this constituency for the people of Rochester and Strood. I will not let UKIP put Ed Miliband in number 10.
Meanwhile, Conservative candidate Kelly Tolhurst wasn't in the mood to chat. The people of Rochester aren't fazed by the result.
I think Nigel Farage is somebody where just come. He's a man long time in the frame coming up, and within, if he stick to his policy, he will be next Prime Minister.
I think UKIP have a workable agenda now. You know, we for so long we've had three-party politics. The Liberals got slam dunked, which was very unfortunate. The Greens did spectacularly well.
Mr Farage remained tight-lipped about any further defections to his party, but a second MP in Westminster is sure to boost his campaign ahead of the general election next May.
This is a by-election, biggest by-election for over 30 years of British politics. All you guys are talking about is the next step. I want to enjoy the year.
Well, a joyous night for the UKIP party, a miserable night for the Conservative Party and also for the Lib Dem Party. Their candidate Jeff Dewby, he came fifth, only received 0.87% of the vote. It was their worst performance in a by-election in their history, the previous lowest result being in the Clacton by-election, which was last month, where Douglas Carswell became the first UKIP MP. And it was really a stark contrast from their last performance in an election in Rochester and Strood. Meanwhile, David Cameron has been talking about the election. He said he's absolutely determined for his party to win back the seat next May for the general election. Kelly Tolhurst will contend that seat once more. I spoke to the MP for Chatham and Alresford, Tracy Crouch, last night, and she said it was illogical for any of her fellow colleagues to defect to the Tory party, as Mark Reckless has done. And There's been, Ladbrokes have released an odds list today of likely MPs from the Tory party to defect to UKIP. I can tell you that Philip Hollowbone is the favourite at 2-1 to join the UKIP party, and he, interestingly enough, accompanied Mark Reckless to the Houses of Parliament today, where Mark Reckless was sworn in. Adam Holloway is at 16-1 to defect to the UKIP party, and I asked Nigel Farage last night whether that was a possibility. As you saw in the video, he was very coy and reluctant to comment. He said, "You will have to phone Adam Holloway and ask him yourself."